I'm just going to explain the add passenger function. I just open it, taking the data from the passenger, which is right here, and then forming a unique code, taking the first letter from the first name, the first letter from the name, and then this for loop for taking the whole last name. The whole last name is that is going. This statement is actually used for example, if I entered Najah here, it's 5 characters and the array itself is 20, so it doesn't need to loop 20 times, you just need to loop 6 times for the amount of characters I just entered. So the 6th time it's going to be null character and going to be break out of the loop for loop, and then here I'm just taking the firstly passport number, putting them in the unique code, and this for loop is just to add the unique code into the global variable, the whole array in the global variable in the struct array of the unique code. All the passengers on a certain flight. First of all, we open the files I needed, so booking file to see the flight ID from it, and passengers file to get the information of passenger on it. First of all, it asks to get the flight ID. So let's say Tuesday 18817, and then it prints all the passengers on the flight. It looks through the files until in the file of the booking file, and then if it's the same, so it prints all the information of the passenger, which is shown here. Passenger and booking passenger part is the same as modifying flight, which we made in task 1, so there's no different. I'm just going to explain the modifying booking. So I'm going to ask if it's a counter booking, so it's a booking board, so I just pressed B and it's booking, and then I opened my file I needed. So getting into the P port, I'm going to ask for the account ID and booking code, and then open the file until in the file. So when it finds the booking code I need and the account ID, it's just going to ask if I want to change. What do I want to change? So I want to change day and date, so I want to get into case 2, and then this statement is for getting the current date and time from the PC, and this struct actually is saved in hashing code ctime, where I just declare it here, and this statement actually take the current date and time and save it in the struct format, which is the time now. And this ints are used to save the ints from the struct. Okay, I just asked if it's going trip or return trip, so it's a one-way trip, it's going trip, and then I ask for the date and day and things like that. So if it's possible, it's going to create for it the code of the new code of the flight, and then write it in the file.
Hi, I will be explaining the functions in which the passenger is asked whether to what's the type of his trip, whether it's one-way trip, round or multi-destination trip. Here he has to enter the place from where he's traveling, Cairo to Frankfurt, which is his destination, and this is the timetable for all the flights traveling from Cairo to Frankfurt. Here he has to enter the day, which is Tuesday, and the date, and he's asked whether he have an account or he needs a new one. If he needs a new one, he has to enter his first name, middle name, last name, date of birth, profession, nationality, passport number, and passport expiration date. Now let's see another example for round trip. If he chooses R for round trip and enters Cairo and Paris, this is the timetable for all the flights going to Paris. He has to choose the day and date of the traveling. Now he gets another table from Paris to Cairo, and this is all the flights that are going from Paris to Cairo. The same, and he has to choose the day, Monday, and the date within the range of 3 months. The code, there is a slight difference between the 3 functions, so let's use the one-way function as an example. Here is asked to enter the place from where he's traveling and the destination, and these are used to find the timetable for all the flights traveling to this destination, and he's as well asked to enter the day on which he's traveling and the date. Here also we use the function ASCII to integer in order to change the characters to integers, and we can use it to compare it with the time we got from the PC and make sure that it is within a 3 month range. And here is asked to whether he is having an account or he needs a new one, and this takes him to the function which asks him to enter all his personal details. That's all. There is only a slight difference between the round function and the one-way function. The only difference is that in the one way we had a one timetable from the place he's traveling to the destination. Here we have the same table and another table from the destination and back to the place from where he traveled. All the other details are the same as one-way destination. The only difference we have in the multi-destination function is that we have a do while. The do does all the same as the one trip and the round way trip, but here the while at the end there is a question before it. Do you want to add more destination? If yes, this while will run over and the passenger will get the same questions again from which destination to which destination until he gets the flight and chooses the day and the date for that flight. Delete passenger function. The function asks user whether he wants to delete an account or a booking. Here we open up 4 files, 2 for writing and 2 for reading, 2 for two for passengers and 2 for bookings. Here he's asked to enter his choice, whether it's an account or a booking. If he chooses the account, he's asked for a code to enter. This code is used to be compared with all the lines of the file. Whenever it's not that line is written again in the file, and this file is renamed as passengers after new passengers. And if he chooses B, he's asked for the account ID and the booking code, and it's also compared with all the lines of the file, and it's all the lines which are not matching this choice is written again in the file, and the file is renamed as booking after new booking.